All right, waiting for this thing to heat up. Looks like this is recording. Hey, what's up? This is Dave. This is What's Up Dave for March 19th, Monday. Looks like the audio is working. So I'm going to go to a 3-day-a-week What's Up Dave schedule in an attempt to reserve Tuesdays and Thursdays for other work. I'm also not going to be blogging on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. So those should be pure working days. This is part of my desire to optimize my working schedule by controlling the number of things that I'm doing every day. So Monday, so even though it's pretty easy to put together a blog post and do this stream, it's still nevertheless couple 2 or 3 hours out of the day in the morning, which is like the prime working time. So I think I'd rather see what it's going to be like for Tuesdays and Thursdays to focus on other things, give myself a break during the week. We'll see how it goes. I'll try it out for this week. So what's on my topic? What's on topics today? So if I just did some stuff here, let me share my screen here. So I made this, and what is this, you ask? This is a magical... It's a browser source. It's a file that's on my computer and allows me to type in stuff like this. Let's see what happens. So if I save this, it should pop up over here so I can actually describe what I'm doing, which is, I think, pretty cool. Topics. So I can actually embed a little bit more. It's not updating. It's supposed to update every few seconds. Okay, it's working. It's just I guess I accidentally paused this. Looks like I've paused my actual stream here. I'm not sure what's going on. Am I moving? It's like the stream health is like dropped. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I've got that set up so I can actually type in more text in this unused part of the window. So I can switch back and forth between these things, and it should update every 3 seconds or so. I'll set this to update every 1 second, so it's a little bit more obvious. So again, like this text over here, if I switch back to screen, this is just a local file, and there's a timeout here that tells it to reload itself every second. And that should work out pretty well. We'll see if it fits back in place. I hope the cat has come here to say hello. All right, so anyway, what am I talking about? This is a week of improved health. And one thing I found out last week, I realized that since I am diabetes type 2, I actually need to watch what I'm eating much more so than before. So I was like, when I was sick, and then actually pretty much for the past 4 or 5 months, I've been pretty much eating whatever I wanted. Carbs, wheats, things like that, sugar. And I was wondering, how come I can't focus on anything? And it just occurred to me last week, I wonder if it's a blood sugar thing. Maybe this is contributing to brain fog. And so I tried going low carb and just eating proteins and not eating sugar and that stuff, and my brain clarity increased quite a bit. So, you know, duh. In hindsight, a big duh. But that's an exciting find. I actually wrote a blog post about it here if you go to davidsay.com. The daily's O10M, -M meaning Monday. I wrote about the going back to the gym. My friend Bill Cava sent me an encouraging email after I was writing about this realization that the blood sugar thing might have something to do with my lack of focus. And he had done something starting in March 31st in 2016. And he had a very similar strategy. You can read this on the website, davidsay.com. He wanted to see if changing diet and life choices could improve his lethargy, brain fog, apathy, issues with overeating, etc., etc., etc. And his major outcomes were no more brain fog, increased energy, needing less sleep, getting up early, No more food cravings and having lost some weight. Hello, kitty. Mwah. So, and he went on to describe a bunch of other benefits in his email. I'm going to catch up with him for lunch and see what else it is. Some of the other things here in this blog post, like there's the new video card. It's blue that matches the typewriter, even though the blue is a little bit different. That's what it is. But we'll go live and look at it directly. So, what else is on my mind today? So I talked about the reduced blogging schedule, finding a new rhythm for posting. One thought I had was, this is regarding the blogging mission. Maybe my new strategy isn't to be making products, although that's maybe part of just making a living. It could be that the blogging strategy is that I am presenting as a kind of host. So like for the past 10 days or so, I've been wondering if the blog posts I've been writing here were useful to anybody. But I think what it is I'm just talking about what I'm doing. And maybe talking about what I'm doing is enough of a foundation for other people who are on similar paths or people who are looking for a kind of creative camaraderie. Maybe that's enough of a hook. It's enough of a reason for people to just watch, check in every day, and maybe share what they're doing. In a way, it's an extension of what I'm doing in the co-working chat room over at davidsay.com/discord. Just hanging out, sharing what we're doing, and providing some, I guess, a foundation for conversation. So I mentioned every day I mentioned something. It might be interesting, it might not, but it doesn't require a lot of time. I've been writing much shorter blog posts. And maybe that's enough of a foundation for what else I'm doing. Being a host, being a provider or provisioner of interesting things, interesting ideas, and so forth, that might be enough. And that might help me do my own work, the products of the stationery and so forth. I just saw myself toss the cat out of my lap. Where'd he go? Anyway, what else is going on? The GHDR review. I saw that Jess in the chat room was doing her review of Groundhog Day resolutions and was not happy with her progress. And I haven't looked at mine in quite some time, so I'm going to go look on my Groundhog Day resolutions page and see what I'm saying. So I'm going to this community post. These are some of the other people who are doing the reviews. My posts are here. What did I write last? It's March 3rd. What did I do? What are my stupid goals? I thought I listed them someplace. Oh, right. I put them in the combobulator. Here's the resolutions. Make a viable gathering-style productivity system and apply it. Focus on mastery in JavaScript software development as I build big systems. Create a public identity built on all my disparate activities, leadership, and standing for things I love and sharing them all as my neat side business. I guess I've kind of been doing that. Build the product mix, consolidate the store, share them widely as part of the neat side business. Swear less, make a swear jar. And then I was going to do a dailies of actively sharing what I'm doing in my accrual bucket. Well, to my defense, I've been sick for the past 2 weeks and have been having severe brain fog. And 2 weeks ago, that's around March 3rd. I haven't really been adding very much to the accrual bucket. I believe I put the resolutions here in this spreadsheet, so that's good. So if I remember to look at this spreadsheet, which is publicly available, I can see how I'm supposed to do this. So since 3/4, what have I done? I was noting that this week I was writing daily blog posts. I did have the big insight about rage about imperfections, not even my own imperfections, but other people's imperfections, were keeping me from engaging with a lot of projects. I had an insight about approachability, humanity, hospitality online is making an impact whether I know it or not, as like someone reminded me. So connection, building a community, something like that, that seems to be important to me. This is a reminder here of when brain fuzziness hits, turn off my overheated brain. I should actually write in the other insight. Let's say that happened 3:15. Would it happen on Pi Day? The Pi Day, I ate a whole bunch of pies, and I felt like crap the entire day afterwards. I think it was the 16th. I had a big insight that blood sugar is an issue. Oh my God, blood sugar. Having too much blood sugar equals brain fog because I have diabetes type 2. And even if I didn't, it contributes to brain fog. So, change up the diet, start exercising. That was a pretty big insight. Let's format that text wrapping. We should sort of remember the wrapping settings. Damn it, Google. That is really super important. In fact, I am going to make it red because it is so important. Maybe I should make it a different color. Let's make it red and give it a background color. Okay. That is super important. That's probably the best thing I've realized all month. But, you know, other than that, I think that's pretty much what's on my list. It's 12 minutes in. Oh, one last thing is, or two last things. Look at the video card, but I figured out a way to simplify my bag. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at this bag here. So this is my bag that I take with me to Starbucks. And one issue I've had with it, I really like this bag. There's a place for the laptop that goes in here, but there's not quite enough room to put in my big notebook, which let me go grab that. Where does it go? Where's the big notebook? Where's the big notebook? Oh, there it is. Oh, big notebook. So this is my, this is the notebook I like to write in if I'm brainstorming and stuff. It's like a big 9x12 quadro ruled notebook, hard cover, nice double wire binding. So so it's big enough that I can actually put a full 8.5 by 11 in it, and it doesn't stick out and crumple at the edges. So that's really nice for doing that kind of thing, or just carrying around with it. But if in my bag, there's no real good place to put it. Maybe you can see in here that there's a lot of clutter in it, and so it doesn't look really jam clean. This is like the actual power supply. This is the keyboard and mouse. This is a smaller version than I had before. And then here is a whole bunch of like accessories. And it occurred to me that I actually don't need this. I never use this. This has a few like flash drives on it. Who needs flash drives these days with the internet? Some monitor connections, an extra nail clipper, an SSD hard drive, some other adapters, and a bunch of cables in here that I might use. But these cables are for the SSD drive and for another kind of USB connector that I don't usually need. So I can actually just leave this at home. And then that frees up more space for putting the notebook in. So I can just jam this in there and then jam this in there. And then here is the roost stand in this case. And I actually gained back a couple of inches of depth, and suddenly everything is great. So this thing, I can put this back in Another bag that I maybe bring in for when I'm traveling. Basically, this is what this is for. But I don't really need to carry this around. I'm gonna put this in my drawer thing over here, where I need it. In the meantime, there are some cables that I like to bring with me, and I've just stuffed them into this container here. So in here I have a long micro USB cable, and I also have a phone lightning cable for charging my phone. And then the mouse is in here, and the Bluetooth keyboard's in this. So this frees up quite a bit of space. Maybe I can also, I might be able to get rid of this thing and put it into here, but actually this case works out pretty well, because I have an extra thing in here. Like I have this short light up extension cord, so it's easier to just plug in this into outlet if I'm sharing it with somebody else. And the nice thing about this one is it lights up if there's current, because sometimes you plug into something and there's no current, you wonder why nothing's working. So this all kind of fits in here a little bit better. It also grabs pretty well the plug on the power adapter, so I don't have to carry the giant Apple one. So that was a major realization today when I was working at Starbucks after going to the gym, which I did go to, which is great. I did 15 minutes of cardio. And that was probably about enough. I'm just kind of going slowly back in to the whole gym habit. I went there like at 6:30 in the morning, and then got to Starbucks around 7-ish. There wrote the blog post. And I don't know if you can tell, but my energy level is pretty good. I ate protein first thing in the morning, haven't had any carbs, and my head is much clearer than it's been for months. So I'm hoping that this goes on and I'm able to jump into the paying work for the JavaScript stuff. I may even live stream that later. I'm feeling positive about facing it, and this could be a placebo effect from trying a new thing. I wonder if the diet will help me with my brain fog, and it could be the excitement of that's keeping me going, but hopefully not. Okay, so this is getting a little bit long, but since we're going to stop doing the daily streams, there won't be one tomorrow, but the next one will be on Wednesday. The one last thing I'll look at is, let's take a closer look at that video card up there. So I'm just plugging in. This is probably not long enough to reach. I'm thinking it's not. Let's see how far we can get though. So I'm going to plug in this thing. This is the UTAP. This is this converts any HDMI source into a webcam source, so I can plug it in right into OBS, the software I'm using right now to do the live streaming. It's bus powered, and I can plug in, I've just plugged it into my DSLR, and let's see, let's go to AuxCam here, and we'll just look at it. So I'm going to turn this on. This is already in video mode, and you can see it's on here, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch over the AuxCam source here to use the UTAP. So now this is on here. And it also is like auto-focusing and doing all the good stuff. So let's see if this cable's long enough. It might not be. We can get pretty close. I could actually drag the whole cart. I forgot that. Let's just move the whole cart over. So here's the cart. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room. I probably could get a longer cable. This is not only 1920, so we can take a look there. So there's the new video card sitting snugly in the case. And it works pretty well. If you read the blog post, you'll see that I'm pretty pleased with its performance. And it's blue, and it's a somewhat of a close match. Well, it's not even close. It's much darker for the typewriter. I just wanted something blue there. That was a big reason why I got that. There are cheaper video cards that are made by this, but so this was maybe a premium of $100, but it's also factory overclocked, and performance is pretty good. Computer's not on right now, but I'm pretty pleased with how this build came out. So there's the groundhog. I do need to bring this lens in, or take this lens into. I need to get it serviced. So anyway, that's what's going on here. That's today's What's Up, Dave. And I guess I'm done for now. So now I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to jump into doing some JavaScript work and get paid. I just had to write a huge check for my taxes, and I got penalized this year because I didn't do the estimated taxes. So, blah. Once I get all that stuff done, it'll be fine. So they're scheduled to post in April, so by then I should have some more money in. But I've just been spending a lot of money paying expenses and stuff like that, or just paid off like $6,000 for printing costs for the stationary things. I need to really promote that stuff and start selling it more. Yeah, taxes. Yeah, right, Dom? I just saw Dom post something over there. Yeah. So at least my brain is clearer. Not eating the sugar anymore. Hopefully it'll help. What I'm worried about is I'll get really bored of the meals. But a good trade-off for me is realizing that if I eat all the sugar and stuff like this, then my brain doesn't work, and I hate that idea of my brain not working. If I can control it through diet and exercise and be more awake, be more on top of things, I think that's a good trade-off. I just saw like the text there move for some reason. I wonder what's going on with that. Anyway, so that's today's What's Up, Dave. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good week. Come hang out in the Discord co-working chat room and let us know what you're doing. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.